Hi, my name is Ngozi Mwapweze. I'm a lawyer, a mom, and a small business owner. I graduated from the University of Lagos, where I studied law a couple of years ago, precisely 2007, and I was called to the bar in 2008. Along the line, I started practice. I practiced for a couple of years in a law firm, and whilst I was doing that, I was also running a small, business on the side. In my course of practice and in my course of interacting with business owners, small business owners, my fellow colleagues, in the hustle and all of that, I realized that, there were so many, legal needs and legal services that people were always coming to me for. They're like, oh, Ngozi, please, I tried to buy something and then, they haven't, gotten back to me with the item. I need to send them like a warning letter, or I paid for something and they haven't offered the service. I need like a warning letter. Please kindly help me do something very quickly. I had people calling me, telling me things like, okay, I want to, do business with somebody. I need like a small, contract and all of that. Or, oh, somebody gave me these documents, I need you to help me take a look at it to make sure that all the terms and everything, in there is good for me and good for the business. So I used to do some of these things, for next to nothing, for family, for friends, and for, other colleagues. So it got me thinking. I sat down and I just realized that, if I could be doing this in my own little corner, I can just imagine that there's so many other small and medium scale businesses, that need these services. Now, just as, I'm sure, as you know, there's this myth that surrounds, the legal profession, that surrounds lawyers. There are some people that you will say, oh, okay, I'm a lawyer. Some people, once they just say you're a lawyer, they're like, I don't want problem. It's funny because the whole idea of you being a lawyer is to help people prevent problem. Now, people believe that in short, just you being around them is a problem. And I think it's just a myth that has been created and nurtured over the years. And I think it's time that, we demystify the law. We simplify it. I hear so many of my colleagues when they're talking to, the layman, like they call them, and they're using all this big legal language, and I'm like, oh my God. So all of those things, aid to even mystify the whole legal, system, and even just make it, inaccessible. So it got me thinking, that there actually really is a huge market. Statistics have shown that over 70% of the businesses that operate in Nigeria are small and medium scale businesses. That shows you that there's a huge market and therefore there's a huge gap, And what we try to do is to create, what I call legal inclusion. We all know what financial inclusion is all about, but what we try to create here is legal inclusion to ensure that every single small and medium scale business is able to access affordable legal services. Now, it ranges from, document review to document creation, legal advisory, all sorts of things, whatever it is you need. You would be surprised. You'll be, let me say, pleasantly surprised that a lot of the challenges you face in your business can be cured legally with legal services. Whether it's from, you being able to access funds. If your business is not registered, you cannot access funds. Is it, you dealing with your staff? If you do not have proper documentation with your staff, you would run into issues, serious issues, and it's quite unfortunate that a lot of the times, what I've realized in my years of practice is that by the time, people feel the need to contact a lawyer, a lot of the times it's too late. A lot of the times the damage has been done, sometimes irreparable, sometimes irretrievable. So it only makes sense that before you find yourself neck deep in issues, you employ the services of a legal professional, a legal practitioner, to help you tighten your ends. See, there is no such thing as a gentleman's agreement. Take it from me. When problem arises, you will find out that there is no such thing as gentleman when it comes to money. In business, there is no such thing as a gentleman when it comes to money. Take it from me. I've seen so many friendships, so many relationships destroyed because, at that point when there's katakata. It's a matter of he said, she said. Imagine that you cannot remember what you said to somebody a month, 2 months ago. Imagine, something you said with somebody about business a couple of years back. You might not be able to remember. But if everything is in black and white, I always tell people, no, even if it's just a piece of paper and a biro, please ensure that you have something documented. And I always tell them this. If you have a conversation, this is a tip now. If you have a conversation with somebody about business over the phone, ask them to send you a message, or preferably send you an email. I prefer emailing because at least with that, you don't lose track, right? You can always get back to it. I call it paper trail. Ensure that you create a paper trail. Very, very important. Now, I will give you a couple of instances of situations that, people have come to me with. There was a client who, got a brief to write a book for a client, and then they in turn contracted somebody else to ghostwrite. They downloaded the template of the internet. Wrong move. Never ever download any template of the internet. Back to my story. Now they downloaded the template of the internet, gave it to the ghostwriter, who filled everything, and returned and signed and all of that. In the course of the transaction, issues arose. They were not able to make payment on time for one reason or the other. The ghostwriter ended up publishing the book. Guess who found the book online? The original owner of the book. And then, of course, queried, the company who was originally contracted to write the book. Now, a lot of things had gone wrong. That company were supposed to do a whole lot for that client. They lost a brief worth millions of naira. In short, because at that point they were a budding company. They were just starting. It nearly crippled them. When my client told me, oh yes, they have a contract with the ghostwriter, I'm like, okay, send it to me. When they sent it to me, so many vital clauses were missing. So many vital clauses, extricating the ownership of that literary work from the ghostwriter and, putting the ownership of that work in the hands of the original author. So there were so many issues, that we couldn't resolve because there were so many clauses that were missing in that particular contract. We had to now, come to the round table and say, okay, you know what? Take this. Eventually we were able to resolve it, but it became a thing of passion for me to ensure that we can, create a system in which these services are affordable to more businesses, so that, Nigeria is a developing country, right? And the economy sits and rests solely on small and medium scale businesses. If we can play our part in ensuring that the challenges they face, can be solved legally. A part of the challenges they face can be solved legally, and we can provide those services, then I think our job is done. So for me, it's a thing of passion. It's something that I really want to that I'm taking very seriously, and my team is taking very seriously, to ensure that no matter what your budget is, no matter what it is you need, even if you do not have a running business, even if it's just an idea, we would help you, walk you through the process. We're not in the business of doing one thing for you and that's it. We want to follow you. We want to ensure that you file your annual returns as when due. We want to ensure that every single time you are doing anything, whether you're employing staff, you're doing business in any way, no matter how, now let me tell you, whenever you tell anybody you are doing business with, my lawyers will get across to you. Everybody sits up. No jokes, they know that you're not kidding. Even if it's a one-man business, the moment you tell anybody, my lawyers will get across to you, or they give you a document and they tell you sign, and you say no. My lawyers need to look at this, before I can append my signature. They take you seriously. They know you know what you're doing. Even in your smallness, they take you seriously. Anybody you meet and you want to share your idea with and you say, okay, you know what? In as much as I'm trying to seek funding from you, or I'm trying to partner with you on whatever level, take this non-disclosure agreement or this mutual non-disclosure agreement in a situation where they are also sharing information with you and you are sharing information with them. You need a mutual non-disclosure agreement. Now, you give that person that document. Some of them might hesitate, but you have to insist that they sign it. And when they do, trust me, the respect they have for you and for your business. If any of them wanted to do any mago, my brother, my sister, they will think twice, So it puts you on a pedestal. It puts you on a footing, for greatness. It helps you ensure that your business runs smoothly. Trust me, a lot of the challenges and problems you have in your business today can be solved legally. I dare say that.